we're talking about a system that has one definite top 100 player, maybe a second, maybe you could argue for a third, but you probably want more than that, and you want multiple top 50 type prospects in your system if you're the Nationals, and they just don't have that right now.
Yeah, I know they just graduated Dylan Cruz, and they graduated Brady House, and Dalen
Right.
Lyle just had a good rookie season. Still, yeah, for a team that's been in rebuild mode, the state of the farm system right now is pretty disappointing, and that's obviously a big reason why they're making so many
Yeah.
changes throughout the organization right now. And Eli Willits, I think, is the clear number one guy in this system.
Right.
I like him a lot. Obviously, famously super young. I think the youngest number one overall pick ever.
Yep.
Um, Always hits, makes a ton of contact. Pretty good athlete, up the middle defender, middle infielder. No question about him. Shortstop, second base. I think he probably can play shortstop. If not, there's no reason he couldn't play second base.
Yeah.
And probably played at a pretty high level. Power is the question. How much of that is just that he's still 17 and young? Basically should be in high school right now. Like we should be evaluating him against Grady Emerson and
Mhm.
Tyler Spangler and Jacob Lombard and those guys. Although I would say all of those guys have more power than Eli
Right.
Willits, because I do think it's just like a lack of bat speed. Now, as guys get older, they get stronger. They can pick up bat speed. They can add power, and I think that some more power will come with Willits. It's just a question of how much. Like, does he get to
Mhm.
40, 45 power? If he does, that could be a really good player. If it ends up being more 30 power, that's the risk. But
Mhm.
a ton of contact and super high level baseball instincts, baseball IQ. Obviously, no surprise. I mean, his older brother, college player, playing for his dad, who's a
Mhm.
college coach and former big leaguer himself. So
Yeah, that stands out to me actually about this Nationals top 10 and just some of the hitters they've targeted in recent years. It feels like the Nationals of old were very big on just big players, physical players. Elijah Green was obviously maybe the prototype of that, like big physical, tons of juice with real swing and miss questions. The last few drafts, the Nationals seem to have targeted a lot more contact oriented hitters who have less power. But if you look at every hitter on this top 10, Eli Willits, Seaver King, Luke Dickerson, Coy James, Angel Feliz, no one in the top 10 of this system, we even have projected future power at 50 or at higher than 50, I should say. There's no power grade better than a 50 in this top 10, which after we get all of our top 10s, I'll be curious if there is another system where that is true. Maybe it's just more common than I think, but that is what stands out to me about this system, just a lack of impact. And granted, all of these hitters are shortstops. So if you're saying, okay, we're going to trade power for a lot of up the middle premium position guys who can really hit, that might be fine, but you also want to see better results than what you've gotten so far from Seaver King, what you've gotten so far from Luke Dickerson. And we talked about Seaver King on a recent podcast. I'm still excited about what he can be, but that certainly stands out in this system.
they have other guys who have power. I mean, Elijah Green still has if not
Right.
70, 80 raw power. Yohandy Morales has huge raw
Hmm.
power. Like Ethan Petry has power too, but a lot of these, I think they can't hit, or they have huge swing and miss risk with these guys. It was a tough year on the pitching side for the Nationals,
Yeah.
um, just because like yeah, Eli Willits is a top 100 guy clearly. Travis Sykora and Jarlin Susana could be top 100 guys, and if they
Right.
were healthy, they probably
I
would
think there
be.
would be. Yep.
Travis Sykora, 100% would be. I mean, we saw. I was really impressed with Travis Sykora when he was healthy, but
I mean, he was
he,
tracking like a top 50 sort of prospect and into like upper echelon of pitching prospects in baseball for me.
yeah, I mean, the stuff looks great, but he threw just under 30 innings this year. Then he had Tommy John surgery, so he's going to miss most of next season. And then how many innings is he really going to throw in 2027? Like probably not like a full season's worth of innings, or a normal full season's worth of innings. And we'll see how the stuff and the command and everything looks once he comes back. I think he's like a fringe top 100 guy now because of the combination of how good he was when he was healthy, but also the injury adds a lot of risk. Jarlin Susana, he's one where he also had he had the lat surgery,
Hmm.
but even before then, he's like had a UCL sprain earlier in the year. The control is really sketchy. I think there's just a
Yeah.
very high probability of him being a reliever. Now, maybe he could be a great reliever. And I don't want to rule out him being a starter entirely, but I
Hmm.
just think it's much more likely he ends up in a bullpen. And he could be a great reliever. Like he could end up being
Right.
one of the better closers in baseball. Like I think I've said before, maybe he ends up being Mason Miller.
Hmm.
But that's to me is if he does end up a reliever, a perfect world scenarios for him. Although I don't know, maybe Mason Miller is going to be a starter this year. So, um, but I think he does have a chance to be that high leverage, really impactful reliever. The stuff is good,
Hmm.
but the control, the inability to stay healthy consistently really scares me with him, which is
Hmm.
concerning for a guy we have ranked that high in the organization.
Yeah, and I mean the volatility doesn't stop there. Alex Clemmey has a lot of the same questions and concerns, maybe less of the health questions compared to Susana and Sykora. He is healthy at this point, but even dating back to his high school days, he was a very erratic pitcher. He had a strong season between high A and double A this year in 116.2 innings, posted a 3.47 ERA, struck out nearly 27% of batters, but he also walked nearly 15%. I mean, he's a big, long, levered kid who comes at you with a fastball that gets in the upper 90s from the left side. He's always shown a plus breaking ball. That looks like it's still there. But the usability of all these pitches are going to be a lot less than you'd like to see. I think he's also more likely a reliever than a starter. And when you can say it, maybe you'll disagree and you'll be more bullish on Clemmy's chances to start moving forward. But I do feel like when two of your top four prospects are likely relievers, that's not a it's not a situation you'd like to be in at this stage of a rebuild.
Yeah, he's a good arm to have in your organization, but is he the number 4 prospect in a good farm system?
Hmm.
Mm, I'd rather have him either, like, back of a top 10 or just outside of a top 10,
Right.
because I think, yeah, it's power of fastball, left-handed pitcher. I thought the changeup looked better this year, but it's, and he, gets good extension too.
Hmm.
There's a lot of effort to the operation. The walk rate that you talked about is scary high. And I think that stems from the delivery. I don't think that's not something I would bet on changing. So yeah, ultimately, is this a starter long term? Maybe. Like I obviously keep him as a starter, keep developing him that way. But the effort, the delivery, the control are going to be things he's going to have to iron out and prove.
Okay, well, let's throw some hope out there to the Nationals fans because I do think we need to circle and maybe talk about the talent they added in the 2025 draft. We've obviously talked about Eli Willits quite a bit already, but they did have a lot of money to spend. They acquired Eli Willits, Ethan Petry, who you mentioned as well in the second round, but then they loaded up on expensive over slot high school players with Landon Harmon, Miguel Sime, two high school right-handed pitchers who had some of the better just pure velocity and arm talent in the class. And then Coy James, who I'd say in the fifth round at 2.5 million, like he is the sort of player the Marlins were drafting and hoping to get from Carter Johnson. But with Coy James, I'm more bullish now on his hit tool than Carter. One, because like he hasn't had the amount of time to show me that he's not the sort of hitter in the same way that Carter has, but also because like he just hit everywhere. I feel like his track record in this class was one of the best in terms of just performing with USA and travel ball and high school. Like he just always hits. And no, there are not a lot of secondary tools that can get you really excited, but he's a well-rounded instinctual player, has a chance to play in the infield somewhere. I think probably more likely fit for second base for me, but I think he's got a chance to be an above average, maybe even a plus hitter because the hand-eye coordination is so good. The swing is compact. He gets on the ball a lot. So I'm bullish on what he can be moving forward. I'm also really excited about both Landon Harmon and Miguel Sime. I mean, Landon Harmon is kind of how you draw up projectable high school pitchers. It's a long, lean frame. He's got a lot of room to add weight. He's already been up to 98. And we talked about this with Thomas White, but I feel like Landon Harmon would be on a short list of players who generates velocity with ease and arm speed. That's just kind of shocking. Every time I saw him pitch, it looked like he was playing catch and it's coming out 96, 97, 98 miles per hour. Still, both Harmon and Sime, I think they're going to have a long ways to go. Consistency and sharpness of the secondaries are something both these pitchers need to improve on. And with Sime, I think you're also looking at a right-handed pitcher who's got a fastball that it's a fairly easy 70 grade projection. I mean, with Sime, you're not projecting on anything. This guy's consistently in the upper 90s.
Yeah.
He touches 100. He's been up north of 100. And there are probably a few pitchers that have held velocity to the degree that he showed at the NHSI last spring, but he was not only maintaining upper 90s velocity in his matchup against Corona, he was going from like 95, 96, and then in the sixth and seventh inning, he was like 97, 99. Like he saved some in the tank and was still holding upper 90s in a full 7 inning game for a high schooler. I was also more impressed with the secondaries than I expected to be for him on that day. But I think for both Harmon and Sime, just like what is the quality of your control going to be? Are you going to add a secondary pitch that is also maybe a chance to be an out pitch? So I think there's a lot to like and to dream on in this 25 class if you're a Nationals fan. It's just probably going to take a while for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like you said, they got a lot of good players in this draft, but it's not a great sign. The guys we're maybe the most excited about are the guys who just haven't had an opportunity to go
Right.
out and play yet.
Right. Exactly.